Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, independent power producers threaten to cut power supply by end of next month if government fails to settle arrears to the tune of about $1.6 billion. Also, President Akufo-Addo insists IMF deal should not be seen as a solution to current economic challenges, rather help restore confidence and put the nation on the path of recovery. And government heavy borrowing on the treasury market triggers another marginal undersubscription of T-bills as interest rates surge. Details coming up. New week, great to be with you. My name is Daryl Kwao. First up, the Chamber of Independent Power Producers, Distributors and Bulk Consumers is threatening to cut power supply to the national grid by end of June if the government fails to settle its debt. This could create a huge power shortfall as the IPPs control over 65% of the available thermal generation capacity in the country. Joy Business understands a letter to that effect will be sent to the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta today. We further learned that as of April 2023, the government owed the IPPs $1.630 billion. The IPPs had indicated they would not restructure debt owed by the government. Ghana aims to cut $10.5 billion in interest payments on external debt in 3 years to be able to successfully implement a $3 billion loan deal from the International Monetary Fund. We're keeping eyes on this with updates subsequently. Now, President Akufo-Addo has indicated that the International Monetary Fund program should not be seen as a solution to the current challenges facing the economy. Rather, it would help in fast-tracking the recovery of the economy and restore confidence. The President said this when he gave his final update on measures taken to contain the spread of COVID-19.
The fact that we've been able to negotiate such a deal sends a positive message to our trading partners, creditors, and investors. A positive message that will be underpinned by the discipline, hard work, and enterprise with which we execute the program. It should lead to the restoration of confidence in the reopening of avenues that have been closed to us this past year and a half. It should also lead to the resumption of many of the infrastructural projects that have stalled.
That was President Akufo-Addo. Now, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has advised government to use the media budget to aggressively pursue fiscal reforms that will encourage the private sector to invest in the country. He warns that confidence among the business community is waning due to high taxes.
19, 20, 2021, we had all the significant flows into the economy, and yet we couldn't turn things around. So I would hope that this is an opportunity for us to do real reforms, and already we would know because the fund has started making adjustments, the bailout costs, their proper treatment, and all those things. Contingency liabilities are being brought out of the woodworks. We already know that we have a 77 billion, of arrears, out of which 23 billion or so was paid. That's the ministry's own, report. Yes, so there will be a lot of information. So, yes, the success will depend on real performance. And I think that the fund will be quite alert to make sure that, because remember, what we are receiving from the fund, which could also be impaired, is a loan.
Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper there. The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry says there is no justification for businesses to reduce prices due to the drop in fuel prices. According to the chamber, the cost build-up of businesses is still high. Speaking to Joy Business, the chief executive of the chamber, Mark Bedu-Aboagye, said key indicators such as interest rates and inflation are still high.
How do we sustain the gains that we have made to the extent that we give some relief to businesses and the private sector? That is where I am looking at. Prices may not necessarily go down. Prices will go down because all the variables that fit into the cost of production are going down. A typical business will determine price based on the cost and the margin. So if interest rates are going down, if the cedi is stable, inflation is going down, and of course, all the other cost of production, electricity, water, if they are all going down, then definitely businesses will respond positively by reducing prices.
Chief Executive of Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu-Aboagye. Now, government's heavy borrowing on the treasury market triggered another marginal undersubscription of treasury bills as interest rates continue to surge. That's according to results of the latest T-bills auction. Here's more.
This is the third week running that government has failed to meet its T-bills target because of the heavy borrowing on the financial market. Government was looking to rope in a little above 3.43 billion cedis, but got about 3.18 billion cedis. According to the auction results, it received bids of about 2.03 billion cedis from investors for the 91-day T-bills, which is accepted about 99% of the bids. It also accepted about 99% of the bids tendered for the 182-day T-bills. A little above 874 million cedis were tendered for that financial instrument. For the 364-day bill, the government accepted all the bids worth 274.45 million cedis. Meanwhile, interest rates continued to surge along the yield curve. The yield on the 91-day bill went up by 0.23% to 20.79%, while that of the 182-day bill increased to 23.62% from 23.35% the previous week. The 364-day bill also went for 28.01%.
You're listening to the Joy Business Report. A senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amoah, is predicting it will take no more than 2 years for banks to start paying dividends to shareholders, following a directive by the Bank of Ghana prohibiting payment. According to him, the move by the central bank is in the right direction, since it will help banks meet the recapitalization program by shoring up their capital. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Amoah appealed to shareholders to exercise restraint.
We have had instances like this in the past. In 2018, during the banking sector cleanup, a similar directive came from Bank of Ghana that banks should not pay dividend. During the COVID pandemic 2020-2021, another directive came from Bank of Ghana that banks should not pay dividend. In between these periods, banks have paid dividend. So if you are asking for how long, not more than 2 years, I think bank owners and shareholders will be laughing to the bank and they will have much to celebrate. Because if you look at the profits that are generated by banks, it appears the banking sector is one of the most profitable sectors in the country. So if for a year or two, in the face of the current difficulty, you are a bank shareholder or an owner, and you are being taxed that, hold on, use what is deservedly must come to you, must be used as capital buffer, I don't think it should hurt the owners so much. They need to be patient. Good days are yet to come.
Senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amoah. Telecom giant MTN Ghana is proposing to offer new shares as dividend payments to shareholders. This was captured in a document to shareholders ahead of the company's annual general meeting tomorrow. George Rafi has details.
This proposal will only materialize if MTN is able to get shareholders to approve the special resolution during its annual general meeting. It is seeking shareholders' blessings so it can pay them with additional shares instead of cash as dividend. So if this proposal is approved at the annual general meeting, then for instance, if you were expecting about 500 Ghana cedis as total dividend payment, is equivalent in shares we paid to you by June ending this year. However, shareholders can only qualify for this if the dividend payment is at least 129 Ghana cedis or more. So why is MTN doing this? Or let's say, what are the expected benefits? Well, in the prospectus, the telecom giant says will allow them to retain that cash, which can be used as working capital. MTN also believes that it will increase the number of shares the shareholders can hold in the company without incurring the capital market related transaction cost. MTN made almost 3 billion Ghana cedis in profits for last year, and it's likely to pay about 70% of this to shareholders. So MTN could be making some great savings if it's able to get every shareholder to subscribe to this offer.
George Rafi, there is an anticipated mixed performance on the Ghana Stock Exchange this week. Here's Grace Munayim of DataBank Research with preview of trading on the stock market.
Last week, the bourse registered 8 price movers of 3 gainers and 5 laggards, closing the market indices lower. Farm Mill gained 30 pesos to 1 cedi 30 pesos, whereas Unilever Ghana and Total Energies went up 28 pesos and 2 pesos respectively. On the flip side, Benzo Oil Palm Plantation lost 1 cedi 11 pesos to close at 13 cedis, while Enterprise Group lost 27 pesos to close the week. Standard Chartered Bank shaved a peso, while MTN Ghana and GCB Bank shared 4 pesos losses. The Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index dipped 1.99% weekly to a year-to-date gain of 3.11%. We anticipate that farm milk will rise this week in response to high demand, while enterprise group falls as selling pressures heightens. For Joy Business Report, Grace Monanyun of Data Bank Research.
Thanks, Grace. Let's check the markets as we wrap up this morning. The currency market to begin with, the dollar going